So, absolutely purely for the fun factor, I have had the Tancho Sankey out, the Sakai fish farm. I have measured it. I'm not giving anything away because just for a bit of fun, and that's all it is, have I achieved any growth in that time from the 21st of June? Was it the 21st of June? Yes. So from the 21st of June to the 12th of July, I'll give you a better picture of that. The Friday the 12th of July, what growth have I achieved? So it's the 12th, so let's count back. It's now the 12th. 22 days. In 22 days, what growth have I achieved on the Tancho Sankey fish farm? Get your comments down below. That's if you've been concentrating. Get your comments down there. Have I achieved any growth? What have I achieved in 20-ish days? Get the comments down below. Hi everyone, Kenty, and I am by the koi pond, and you might be able to tell that there's a slight tint to my water, and that is because I come off holiday, and a week or so ago, or a week before, well, just before I went on my holiday, I noticed that one of the koi was, no, sorry, take it back, I lost a koi. So I left the power off to the UV, so the water got a bit cloudy. So obviously I couldn't see the fish as much as I could do, but I didn't really notice anything odd. Fish were still coming up, swimming and things like that. But anyway, I come in one day after the BKS show, actually that same, the morning after, found a floating dead koi. And then that coincided with going on holiday quite quickly after that. So I didn't carry out no scrapes. However, I did my water checks, which was on my last video, and they all come back fine. So anyway, come off my holiday, and the butterfly koi, the white, they're like the platinum butterfly koi, very, very lethargic. A bit pinky, looking extremely sorry for itself, literally lifeless, no energy, not feeding, on the bottom of the pond. So literally got in yesterday, that was Friday, this is Saturday morning, got it out, carried out a scrape on it, and it is absolutely riddled with costia, and I found one fluke. So on that I'm not worried about the fluke, it's the costia. At first I couldn't see anything until I went straight through the mucus, and I got in between the mucus and the water, so like them rivers in between the mucus and the water. Found them in there, and at first they just looked like little black dots, just really quick, flying around everywhere. And then if you zoom in, they all actually look like round circles dotting about everywhere. Well, not quite a round circle, sort of the odd shape, the weird little things, horrible. Anyway, so purple water time. So I'll show you what I've been up to. So my filter has been absolutely massacred, but I've really gone for it. I wished I'd have probably massacred it when I first did my spring clean. What I didn't do is really clean the filter matting out. I did clean it, but not a lot. Well, this time I have. And I know what you're going to say, no, I shouldn't do that because you're going to knock your filter back. Well, needs must, because that koi was riddled. And the chances are, if that one's got it, so have the others. Now the Sankey that had the Chilo on it a couple of months ago, that had got these little nodules, two of them on top of on near its head, white nodules, right, white weird little things. And there was also a rotten scale on its side. So I got that out, got my bowl out there, and what I did, I PP dipped the butterfly koi, and it's there, look. You can just make it out there. So I PP'd it for 5 minutes, give it a bit of a wiping all over, checked it all over, got it back in, and it responded immediately, swimming around, looked relieved. So the idea behind that PP dip, and I know many people don't like it, I know I was going to PP the pond, and I have done, being PP'd now, that's why this net's in. Well, that koi needed almost instant relief, and it gave it. I could tell the way it reacted. So hopefully that's literally knocked all the parasites off it, killed them dead, and now they're poured over the garden here somewhere. So there shouldn't be many parasites. It's gone now, look, it's gone. So it's actually moving about now, whereas before it wasn't responding at all. So I'm giving it a chance. The other fish are looking okay, you can see them moving about. So that one had a PP dip, and it's gone into a PP pool. So hopefully that one's been saved. Now the Sankey, its scale on its side, what I did, actually, I didn't show it because I just don't. Pockets, when you see a scale, you look at it and it looks dead stiff and like you can't get to it, but it can actually lift it up with your thumb and get right underneath, and you'll lift almost like a flap of skin. It's amazing, really. You won't believe it until you do it, because at first you're timid and you're just scratching the scale and you're just messing about and pulling the rotten bits off. You've really got to get under it and get hold of the good bit of the scale and pull it out, otherwise I'm going to swear now you're going to be pissing in the wind with it. So I really got under the scale. I could lift it up with my thumb and I could see the scale, and I managed to get my finger and thumb on it and I pulled it out. And I managed to get my thumb under it because I put that in the PP dip as well. So I put that koi in the PP dip, and I didn't have to sedate it or anything. I managed to get my thumb underneath, pull the scale off, got my finger inside, my thumb inside, and really cleaned it out. Slid the top of the pocket, and it looked great afterwards. Looked so much better. And that's gone into here now. Now I've not topically treated it because they're in here. There's a butterfly koi swimming around there like nothing happened. It's not been doing that. Look at it. So hopefully what I'm doing and what I've done is give it instant relief and just give it a chance, because Costia, if you leave it, it will kill your fish quick. There's no doubt about it. Costia is quick, it gets on the fish, you find mucus patches and all sorts going off, lethargic, reddening, and obviously because that's a butterfly koi and its fins, it just seems to have attacked that one and really got to its fins and everything. There's the Sankey there, so that one's had a bit of a health check. So yeah, the joys, the absolute joys. This has been isolated now, this is not in circuit, and I've put PP in here as well, and it's also had the rest of my blanket weed, no more blanket weed in there, because I seem to be losing water. Now a month ago I took all this sealant, well I took this off, plus this slate here, and I resealed it all the way down there as well, and what it was doing was tracking over and back and under. So I don't know, and it seemed to be fine. It seemed to be fine, but I've noticed I've got a bit of a green patch there now. It's not coming out there anymore because it was coming out. Let me show you. It was coming out there. Just there was a big puddle of water. So that now has stopped. So I don't think it's not tracking anymore. But I think now it may be leaking. Well, I'm saying maybe. It definitely is. Look, because that's now got a patch. So I've gone from one leak to now another one, which I've always had a bit of a patch there, to be honest with you. So I must have I dropped a clanger when I did this liner because I didn't leave enough. I cut it too short. Look, I should have, a nice big lip under here, but it was difficult on this corner because I needed a lip come higher up. Look, so really that could do with being lower. So I don't know, I'm messing about with this all the time now, this, because I've got a leak on it. So I've either got to take all that slate off, take the slate off and redo it, get it maybe deeper so the water level's a bit lower, or just redo it. Very nice. And then what I'm going to show you, so they're going to get PP'd, and then in a few days time, probably the middle of the week, probably Wednesday, so I'm going back on the gym Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday when I'm not at the gym, I'll get PP in there again, and hopefully that's sorted. I'll see how they go, and then I might give them a scrape again, see what the fluke's on with. Then I'll have to get some praziquantel if I do, 100% praziquantel from Chemical Factory, Duncan Griffiths, that's where I go, and do that. Because that's what I did on that pond, and that sorted them out. Now, I'm showing you this here, because one of the koi, the one that I've been talking about, it's actually at the back. The one that were really pinky and looking well ropey in there, and I've been saying it's been looking really good. Well, I had a closer look at it yesterday. You can just see it at the back there, just there. See all this food in here, dropped a clanger. This feeder here, it drops food out. I upped it last night. I thought, oh, I'll just up the feed on it, but it's too much, as you can see. So I've got to reduce that again now, back to what it was. So there it is. That's the one. So that's the one with the split left pec. So I got that out, sedated it. God, that took some sedating. God, it's a fushy fish, that one. Ever so stressy. When I got it out, it was pinking up and giving it all that. So anyway, as you can see, you might be able to see the split fin on there, on that side. Oops, where's it gone? Sorry, gonna be awkward, that is. So anyways, cut a long story short, I thought, right, I'm having it out, I'm gonna have a proper look at it. I sedated it, and what I found was, despite it looking pretty good, you see that split now. See on that left pec, it's actually a bit smaller, and I'll tell you why. I got it out, give it all a good once over. I made up some PP dips. I got a little bit of PP and some water, so it's like a very runny paste. And what I noticed on that koi, on its tail, so you got the tail, on its top, on its leading edge, even though it looked okay from here in looking in, close up it got like, it was like slimy, like a bit of fin rot at the edges. And any of you that know, unless you cut back into good tissue, you're going to really struggle to get rid of that problem. So what I did, anything that's showing any signs of that at the end of its tail and fins, I cut out. So cut out on the back, tail, cut back, and then on one of its pecs, this pec here, which actually today is looking amazing. This pec here had a little bit, so I cut that out as well. And then what I did, I used the PP paste and I brushed it on the edge of the fin, and what that does is it cauterizes it, just seals it instantly. It looks a bit pink, well, very red at first, and purple when you first do it. But once you get it back in the water and that dissolves a bit, it looks a lot better. So you can see it looks very clean at the moment. You can see that lead-in ray, you can see the ray where I've been messing with it. So hopefully that fin has now got into clean tissue and sterilised and been cauterised with a PP, and hopefully it can get to growing now, because it's in salt in here, and it's at 24. So hopefully now that will really start looking better. Because I thought, I can't keep messing about with these things. You've got to get stuck in, get on top of it, get it recovering, because I'll be running out of time soon. When this gets down to 12 degrees in here, be buggered. That'll be it. So that's the koi in question at the back. Now it's split fin. That was because of the treatments and everything it was having. It split its fin and it split it quite deep. Now what I did, apparently, and I've never done this before, and it was semi-successful on this, I got it sedated, as I've already explained, and that peg, what I did, I pulled it together and I glued it, super glued it. Now you can, if you've got a suturing set, you can actually put stitches in it, a few stitches, say about 3 stitches, so it closes it up and it will heal quicker. Whereas when it's split, it obviously is not touching and it can't heal. So what I did, cleaned the area, pulled it together, super glued it. Now what I noticed, oh, and then I PP'd it as well, give it a really good clean. So what I did, and that's what I did, and it seemed to glue it together, lightly blowing on it and it dried it. Put it back in, obviously the fish come back alive as they do, swimming around as normal. Feeling a bit sorry for itself today after its treatment, but hopefully it will get a bit more, start feeding again. But what I've noticed is the glue just didn't hold. It's gone from, say that, it was like that. Say it was like that, quite deep and about 1 inch deep. It's gone from being closed up with the glue to being opened up at the edge, probably to being half of what it was. So the bottom half has stopped and the glue looks like it's held it, and hopefully that will do it good and sort of quicken it by 50%, hopefully. We'll see. But it wasn't a complete success. It wasn't strong enough to hold it all together. So hopefully now, that's it. It can get treated. Now, off camera, I'm going to reduce the feed on that again, because I've clearly put too much in, and take some of this out, because that's too much for 4 fish in one go, obviously. So there's the fish. There's the split, look. Can't really see it, I'm sorry. I may as well show you these while I'm in here. I've got this pipe back on. I've been mentioning my DOCs, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my bucket, that, and every few days take the bend off and let it run into that bucket to pull the DOCs out of that tube, as opposed to dipping the pipe and pouring in the pond. Now what I've noticed when I came in on my last video, when I came in from holiday, there was loads of DOCs in here because that upward pipe bend wasn't in. It was just that straight pipe onto the end, so it comes straight down, disturbance in here, and comes straight out. Now what I noticed, those DOCs, instead of being collected there and me manually emptying it myself, it was being pushed straight into the pond and the foam was being in there. So what I'm doing is I put that back, and instantly overnight the DOCs aren't in there, they're in that bloody tube. So I've either got to find a way to get a pipe so they come up and it automatically comes out into a bucket, or I'll manually do it. It's looking like a manual job at the minute. So literally what I'll probably do, I'll probably just pull that off, twist that down into a bucket, job's a good one. I've just calibrated the MV, the ORP, because that was too high on this, so I've calibrated that. So that's now a more true value, 190. So a bit of an update on the Canterbury spar, which was on my last video. If you've not seen it, check out my last video, because in this filter there, there's 2 sacks, there's about 15 kilo of Canterbury spar. Now what I've noticed, and I'll spend, my pH is now 1 o'clock in the afternoon, it's at 7.66, so say 7.6. The 2nd of June I tested my KH and my pH, and I tested this yesterday. On the 2nd of June, this was at twice in the day, this in the morning and in the evening. 7.4 in the morning, it was KH of 2, and in the evening at 8:30 it was 7.5, so it gone up 0.1, which is acceptable, and then the KH was still 2, obviously. So what I did, I upped it last week, like I said, in preparation for on my holiday, because at 2, over a period of a week, me not putting bicarb in, I was at risk of my filter and my KH going to 0. But anyway, the Canterbury spar went in, I only put a little bit in this one, and I've come back, and this one is around about a pH of 3. 2 to 3. It's about 2.5. It's just in between. So it's not getting any more bicarb in. So is that a good sign? So what I've got to work out now I'm back, is how long it takes, and it's the weekend. It's Saturday the 13th. So over this next week, I would, around about in the middle of next week, be looking at putting some bicarb in. And anybody that monitors the KH and know how important it is, they will be putting something in to buffer the KH and the pH. And most people do it with bicarb of soda because that's the cheapest form. And then when they do a filter change to clean the filters out, they normally have a regime. I have a regime. I'll put the you know, say half a cupful, a handful, palmful, whatever you want to call it. I've got a scoop in there, and I will put that in, and it just keeps it buffered to within a 1. What you don't want to be doing is going from 1 to 6 to 4 to 1 to 7 to 9, and then all going from, you know, 3 to putting loads in to put 9, and then let it deplete over a period of weeks, because all you're doing is stressing the koi, because you won't get stability. You'll be fluctuating all over the place. So the good thing is the pH looks stable, and the KH does. So all I've got to see now is over a period of the next week or so, I'm not going to put no bicarb in this pond, because I know for a fact I was putting in about a handful every week at this time of year in summer. The feed's been upped, so that carbonates will be going down rapid. So let's see. Now what I don't want to see, because I want a lower pH. I don't want pH of say 8.4 or anything like that. I prefer it slightly softer than that, to more neutral, just above neutral. Because the reason being is you've got more fluctuation or more allowance of free ammonia should you have problems with your filter crashing and things like that. So the lower the pH, you can actually, your permissible allowed of total ammonia is actually higher. And if the pH went up, it's a lot lower. So you could actually turn in your ammonia, the total ammonia, sorry, in your pond. You could be turning the free ammonia toxic to the koi. Whereas the lower the pH, it's not. And I think most koi look better, skin is better in more, you know, the down to work towards neutral you are. So the more neutral you are, I think you're going to get better results with your skin, luster and quality. The 7.7 is good. And then on that note, if you are banging loads of bicarb in, what you'll notice is your pH will plateau at 8.4. And like I say, I don't want it to plateau at 8.4. That's why I'm not pushing KH higher and higher and higher. I'd prefer it low, around 3. But then you just got to watch your treatments, because some treatments recommend your KH is above 6. KH is above 6. So that about bloody concludes another video of waffling. If you've liked this video, please hit the like button. If you've subscribed already, many thanks for the subscription. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscription bell and the subscription button and notification bell. And get these numbers up. And so yeah, it looks like outdoor ponding this year is being an absolute nightmare for a lot of people. I've noticed quite a few people. I've seen a video from Andy. He's having problems again. I think it was had problems with flu, and it's Costia. No, Chilo, Danella. Yeah. Temperatures are not doing us any favours. 2.5 months now in here at 24 degrees. Awesome. I think the problem is temperature related, because the koi, and the reason being for that, if you don't know, a koi's immune system is the most effective from 18 degrees C minimum to 24. So if you're below 18, you're absolutely weaning the wind. If you've got any minor ailments, you're treating them, it will just persist and persist and persist, because the immune system is not kicking in. It's not as its most efficient. The immune system's low, and you know, if you've got a low immune system, you're going to be open to all sorts of ailments, and once you get ailments or slight things like scratches, infections, injuries, the recovery time is so much longer and the risk for infection is so much greater. So that is the reason why I think, because my pond temperature up there is back down to about 15.5 degrees again. What's going on? So that's why you cannot grow outside. Anybody that says can grow outside, no they can't. You cannot grow outside, it doesn't happen. We don't get long enough time. It's absolutely rubbish in this country for growing koi in an outdoor pond unless you're heated. So on that rant, see you on the next one.